Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we certainly appreciate everyone coming on with us. And let me see who we're going to say hello to first as you get your notifications. Brahim, you're shocking me. Mike, number 2 from Norland. You guys are shocking me. You're at the top. Andrea, Niagara Falls. I don't know how you 3 do it, but you're always there. Janice, Brampton, Kevin, Oshawa, good morning. Francis Marie, how are you? Fran from Orangeville. Our dear faithful, Tina, Nova Scotia. Karen from Peterborough. Chantal, Ottawa. Bonjour. Donna, Belle Hubert. And Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Jeanette from our staff. Wendy, good morning. Jeanette, how is you? Donna, Park Hill. Sue, good morning from Bolton. Doc McEwen, I finally see your name. Joanne, how are you? Rosa, Morial. Laurie, Niagara Falls. And Brahim says he sees Kevin. Yeah, good for you. Karen, how are you? Yvonne, P-E-I, Anne. And Helga, how are you? And Catherine from Springdale, Newfoundland. And Deb from Motown. Denise, New Brunswick. Claudette, how are you? Jeanette. And Maggie, how are you, Meg? Linda. Oh, we love those Lindas. Louise. And Rose. Lighthouse Cove. Diane Thunder Bay, good morning. Bonnie, how are you? And, I can't see that one. Denise, Oakville. And Luella, West Tennessee. Bab from Saskatchewan. Vince from Toronto. And let me see. Nancy. Nancy says I always miss her. I'm sorry, Nancy. Brenda. Veronica. And Elaine, how are you? And Joni, Alliston. And Shirley, Saskatchewan, Monica, Granby, Quebec, Bonnie in Little Britain, Guylaine, how are you? And Janine, guys, we appreciate Rafaela, Romania, and Judy, how are you? Sally, Cape Sable Island, Mary, Keith, how are you, Keith? Wanda, Texas. And Douglas, how are you? And Kevin saying hi to folks. And Linda, Crystal. And one more and we'll get going. Nellie, I didn't want to miss you. I waited for you. Catherine from Parksville, British Columbia. Nick, Nicole from Quebec. Barbara, Cape Breton. John. Okay, guys. Sue, how are you? Okay. This is a study, a U.S. adult study on gout. Now, really, really interesting. I think you guys will appreciate this study. It says, okay, first of all, here's the headline. Okay? Here's the headline. Gout is a major health concern in the USA. And the reason they're saying it is because the numbers of people getting gout is really gone up big time. Okay? Now, here's the interesting thing they said about this study. Okay? If And this is new, guys. Okay? This is new. That if they look at blood tests, never mind uric acid, but something that's associated with it, this is fascinating. They say in this study that insulin resistance is a major factor in gout. Insulin resistance is a major factor in gout. And they said the way they measured this, insulin resistance, is taking triglycerides, okay? And we talk about triglycerides all the time on this program. They took triglycerides and glucose fasting numbers. Put the triglycerides together, glucose fasting, and as triglycerides went up and glucose fasting went up, the sign of insulin resistance, gout goes up. Now, guys, this is interesting study because, listen, when you look at gout, I mean, you go to Google it if you want. Okay? Google it. What are they going to tell you? Almost invariably, that gout is a purine problem. You're eating purines. That gives you gout. This major study is saying, no. What gives you gout, more than anything else, is insulin resistance. Now, true or false? We at the Martin Clinic, we at the Doctor Is In podcast, have been saying for years that we should include uric acid in metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is insulin resistance or high circulating insulin. I've been saying that for a long time. And if you Google it, gout is purines. When I was in school, it was the rich man's disease. It was the king's disease. Only the king got it. The peasants didn't. The king got gout. And gout has been well established, by the way, guys, for centuries and centuries. Okay? Well established. But they always said, well, it's the rich man's disease. He was eating too much steak. Nah, that wasn't the case. The king was drinking too much wine and beer and insulin and liver has a major effect on gout. Okay? Now, you can have high uric acid levels and not get gout. Everybody makes uric acid, by the way. Okay? Everybody. It's a byproduct of the Krebs cycle. It's a byproduct of fructose. But this major study says gout is a major health concern today. The numbers are not getting better, they're getting worse. And they wanted to figure out, okay, at the end of the day, why is it getting worse? Meat consumption is down 30%. And when they looked at it, they found out if they measured your triglycerides, blood fats, TG, triglycerides. Now, again, everybody makes triglycerides. But when triglycerides go up, That's not good. Triglycerides go up when your liver is full of fat. And the body has to get rid of that fat somehow, so it sends out fat balls into the bloodstream. Now, doctors, we talked about this yesterday, doctors have been focused in on cholesterol for a long time. A long time. And I'm not optimistic that that's ever going to change. They just got this can't help it to look at cholesterol, where I like to look at cholesterol too, but for different reasons. I like to look and make sure your cholesterol is high, not low, high. I want you to have low triglycerides. I want you to have high cholesterol. Higher than your triglycerides, that's for sure. Okay, and there's a reason for that. Because if you have low triglycerides, it usually tells you that your insulin is good. Now, especially if you take it, your triglycerides, and measure your A1C. I'm big on, like they're doing glucose fasting. You can do insulin fasting. But I'm really big on A1C. I like A1C because I've just determined over the years that A1C, which is an average of your blood sugar over a 3 or 4 month period, glycated hemoglobin, A1C, it's when sugar attaches itself to your hemoglobin in your red blood cells. You can measure it. And if you're above 5.4, which is certainly normal to doctors, but it's not normal to me because I know that if you're above 5.4, you are developing insulin resistance. And some people think it's even lower than that. But my sweet spot, of all the years I was in practice and looking at blood work, I just sort of figured out, 5.4 on an A1C, you're right on the line there. If you're under that, good for you. If you're over that, you got insulin resistance. Okay? So a U.S. adult study, people that are really looking at gout and questioning, I like this. They're questioning the narrative on gout. They're questioning the medical textbooks on gout. What causes it? Why is it going up and up and up to the point that these researchers have said it's a major health concern in our society today? We're not beating it. We're losing the war on gout. And I'll tell you something else. Most people that have high uric acid levels, they don't even get gout. They don't even get gout. But they got dangerously high uric acid levels, meaning that the body is not flushing out. Your kidneys are meant to flush out that uric acid. And if you're not, that creates an inflammatory response. And again, why do you get elevated levels? Insulin. It's food. And it ain't steak. It's not steak. It's sugar. It's not steak. It's sugar. Gout. Major study. Now, that's a headline. Good luck changing the narrative. Will this filter down to physicians, family physicians, or whatever? Nah, probably not. And so their treatment is, if you got gout, you're on alpurinol, medication to lower uric acid. And, but it's not getting at the root problem. Change the diet. Okay, change the diet. And this is new research, guys, on gout. Why is it getting so bad? Like, it's been around. As long as mankind has been around, really, there's been gout. But it's worse than ever. Okay, and why? Okay. So that's one. This is sort of headline Tuesday. Now, 90%, this is another study. This is really interesting to me. It doesn't surprise me even one bit, but I found it interesting. Brand new study on vitamin D. Have you ever heard of vitamin D? Okay. I know you have. And we talk about it all the time. And if you listen to the powers to be, our powers that are in the world today, they're scared skinny of vitamin D. First of all, they're scared skinny of the sun. Okay? Dermatologists haven't done the world a favor at all. As a matter of fact, they've made the world a lot more dangerous. I hate to say it, but they really have. Because they've always talked about they sing like a choir that the sun will kill you. The sun will give you cancer. And sunscreen is part of healthcare. No, it's not. It's the opposite. Anyways, listen to this study. 90% of adults, 90% of children in North America, here's the headline, are below acceptable levels of vitamin D in the bloodstream. Now, guys, my motto has been for vitamin D, or one of my mottos, is test, don't guess. Okay? We live in there's a lot of things that bug me, guys. You know that. This bugs me. You can hardly get tested for vitamin D. If there was a test that the government, okay? If there was a test that every doctor should routinely get and demand, is that we all get our vitamin D levels, our D-hydroxy 25. We should get that tested once or twice a year, minimum. And in Canada, where we have universal health care, the government should pay for it if the doctor orders it. Now, two things. One, you can't get a doctor to order it because the only thing they think of generally, okay, is not vitamin D and your health. They think of vitamin D and your bone health. That's all. It's for your bones. Why do you want to get your vitamin D levels checked? You don't have osteoporosis. You know how many thousands of patients told me that? My doctor said, why do you want to get your vitamin D levels checked? Because if you got low levels of vitamin D, you're going to die young. That's the equation in medicine. Vitamin D is the essential for your health. Now, you guys know that. I'm preaching to the choir, but nonetheless, this study comes out and says 90% of the population. I always said it too, didn't I? 80, 90%. Between B12 and vitamin D, people just don't get enough of it. They just don't. And I don't want to guess. I'd like you to test. Folks, even if you want to invest in your health, then pay for the test if you have to. Vitamin D. Here's the study. 90% of adults and 90% of children. So that means everybody. 90% are low in vitamin D. Here's the acceptable levels of vitamin D. Okay? Now again, this is important, guys, because what a doctor will say is normal isn't always ideal. Okay? These are good numbers. Now listen, if you're below 40 to 60 ng/ml, that's American numbers. ng/ml. 40 to 60 in the US of A. If you're below 40, might be considered normal, but it's not. Okay? It's not. Your immune system not working properly if you're below 40. Not working properly. You're not getting your T cells, your Navy SEALs of your immune system will not work properly. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Excuse me. Your immune system will not work properly because you're a solar panel. Your brain to your toes, solar panel. And you need vitamin D for it to operate at optimized levels. Your immune system just won't operate properly unless you, in the American numbers, are above 40 ng/ml. In Canada, okay, it's between 100 and 150, 100 being the lowest number acceptable. NMOL dash large L. Okay. NMOL. Okay. That's how we measure in Canada the vitamin D. In the United States, it's ng/ml. Okay. Don't get into the weeds. If you get it tested, either country you're in, look at your numbers. Because if you'll be in the 90% of the population if you're under 40 in the United States. I like it at 60, by the way, and up. Me, that's optimized. But I'm just going to follow this study. Okay? And in Canada, bare minimum, 100. And they go to 150. I like 150 and up. Okay? That's my sweet spot. If you read my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, I talk about those numbers on vitamin D. Okay? The sun. The sun. Now, this summer, where I live, we got lots of sun. It's been wonderful. But it's not always the case. And guess what? Fall is coming in Canada. What does that mean? Not a lot of sun. Okay? Not a lot of sun. I don't worry about climate as much as I worry about sun. Okay? I don't care about the temperature as much as I care about that sun up in the sky. And it won't be long. I'll be taking a supplement of vitamin D. Guys, I know it's repetition, but this study is saying it's unreal, the low levels of vitamin D. And that's because we are scared, skinny of the sun. And now there's a war on vitamin D as a supplement. They're all so concerned that people will be overdosing on vitamin D. How about underdosing on vitamin D? How about underdosing? If we understood, like you guys do, the importance of vitamin D in the immune system, the importance of vitamin D for your brain, the importance of vitamin D for your heart, the importance of vitamin D for nitric oxide, your blood vessels, the importance of vitamin D. I tell you guys, I could almost, like I'm going to say something here, and I'm telling you that you'd almost eradicate cancer and with vitamin D. But I know it's not going to happen because it's too hard to get people to change their minds on vitamin D, to change their minds about the sun. You know, I was like John the Baptist is screaming in the wilderness for 50 years on the sun. Everybody, especially my parents' generation, get out of the sun, get out of the sun. Use sunscreen. Never go in the sun without sunscreen. And I used to scream. In 20 minutes, you get 10,000 IUs. At least get that. Your eyeballs need sun. Now, don't look directly in it. But if you want to increase your melatonin levels, you don't take melatonin, you get the sun. Your body makes melatonin. Your eyeballs. You know, your eyeballs getting out on it. Why do you think you feel so much better when the sun's out, guys? Come on. Oh, I like when it's rainy and gloomy. Nah, I'm not saying we need rain too, you know. But I'm just saying, guys. Okay. 2 new studies, and I got more. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. There's so much research that I look at every day that just sometimes I just get overwhelmed. The one on gout. I said it. I've been saying it for so long. No, gout is an insulin problem. It's not a purine problem. It's an insulin problem. And vitamin D, we are extremely low in the world, extremely low. Because we've been given a boatload of lies about the sun and the dangers of it. It's amazing to me. Those numbers again, okay? I'll post it, by the way. 40 to 60 NG ml, which is the American numbers, and Canadian numbers 100 to 150 NMOL, capital L, dash capital L. Okay? Anyway, don't get in the weeds. You don't have to know. Just know some certain numbers, guys. Okay? Anywho, somebody is saying they're trying to block the sun. Doesn't that get, you want to give me a migraine? Blocking the sun. I'm telling you guys, we live in, our world is so crazy, I just can't get over it. The stupidity. The stupidity of that. Imagine blocking the sun. My word. Sun, steak, and steel. Have you got the book? Get the book. Okay, guys, let me give you a little. I'm going to post this too. I just did a podcast with Lisa Fisher. Okay, Lisa Fisher podcast. I just did a podcast on cortisol. I'm going to post it on our private Facebook group and anywhere else I can post it if you want to listen to that, okay? It was on the Lisa Fisher podcast, and we talked about cortisol. I think you find it very interesting. So I'm going to post that if I can. Ooh, you're asking a lot from me for me to do stuff online, okay? Okay, guys, we got a great week coming. Get your questions in for a question and answer Friday. Talk to you soon.